this is Dr. Darnise coming to you with another episode of Dr. Darnise's House of Religion, Magic, and Conjure. And sorry, it's been a minute, been a week or so, week or two probably, since I've last been on. But I've been busy and teaching these religion classes and also finalizing my book. I'm working on a self-help book called 40 something, and it's taking a lot of time, and I did a photo shoot, so I'll share information about that for those who might be interested, any women in particular who are 40 something. Anyway, that's what I've been up to, and but I wanted to come back on here and talk about something that I recently saw on Netflix, and to wonder if you've been watching it, if you heard about it or anything. It's a TV show called Siempre Bruja, which is Spanish for always a witch, or always the witch, Siempre Bruja. And it got a lot of talk, I guess I'll say, among black women in particular who practice African religions or witchcraft in particular, because we were happy to see that there's a TV show that was giving credence and highlighting, these kind of spiritual practices, and to have, this black woman in the lead role. And so there's a lot of excitement about this. So if you haven't heard about it, you can easily Google it. You can go on Netflix yourself and watch it. I will let you know, I'm not happy with it. So this is sort of my review of Siempre Bruja. And, I hate to just bash something, right? But I couldn't get through episode 1. I did not even get through episode 1. Now I might go back, and let me tell you why. So it's originally set in the 1600s in Colombia, and the opening scene of episode 1 is this African Latina woman is being dragged to the stake so she can be burned at the stake as a witch. And so the opening scene is pretty much her being burned. And so this is 1600s Colombia, and so she is somehow magically transported into the future, into current day Colombia. And she is disoriented, of course, as one might expect, and she's got burns on her feet. She doesn't really know what happened to her. But anyway, I don't want to go into all that detail so much, but she is a healer. She has some powers, and so she's able to heal her own feet. But here's the thing. Here's what's problematic. Two things. One is it's dubbed. So the series is in Spanish, and so the dubbing on top of it is kind of bad. Like, you would think they could do better. Or we could just have subtitles, but the overdubbing is bad. But you could get over that. Here's the thing. For black people in particular, African people all over the diaspora, the main problem this woman has, her main why, is that she is troubled because she wants to go back to the 1600s to be with her white lover. So right off, you're like, wait a minute, this is a black woman, Afro-Latina woman who was enslaved in Colombia, and she has fallen in love with her slave owner's son, another member of the slave holding family, right? So they're young people, like let's say early 20s, and they're so in love with each other, they just want to be together. So this is sort of a, Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed lovers kind of romance with some magic put in the story. And I said, okay, why would I, as an African descent woman, want to go back into a time when I was a slave? These people just burned me at the stake. I'm dying to get back there? No. Sorry, the camera's moving. And I really want to be with my slave owner family. they have already rejected me, but I'm convinced that I can sway them so that they allow me to have a relationship with their princely son. So as I'm watching it, she's very determined. She's trying to figure everything out. She's trying to determine how she's going to get back to be with her man during slavery. So this is why, y'all, I can't go on. I mean, there was a little bit of, magic going on. And I imagine that as the episodes unfold, there'll be more magic going on, or some acknowledgement given over to African practices. I'm assuming, because right now I'm not sure I can go back and watch any more of it, because her main directive, once again, is to get back in time to be a slave again for the love of this white man. So that's really all I wanted to come on here and share with y'all. Like, could that possibly be a real premise for a show in 2019? And so some of the people, of course, people have commented about this widely, so if you Google it, you'll see. And some of the people who are not quite understanding our critique are like, well, it's just the backdrop for the show, but it's really a love story. And this, I'm always on here talking about how our history gets erased. And if we don't remember it ourselves, other people will take over and tell us what it was. And that's for real, for real. Like, we know that that's what happens. And so in this case, the people who are looking at this show and don't find anything problematic about this relationship, or about a woman who would set aside even being in slavery, it's because already the erasing of how horrible slavery was is in place. The brutality of slavery, the inhumanity of slavery is erased in the mind of a person who will look at that and say, well, it wasn't that bad for her. It's just the backdrop to the story. That's what I mean by erasing. So I am curious to know if any of you have watched this show. If you want to go ahead and watch at least episode 1 and then come back on here and leave me some comments, I would definitely be interested in what you think about it. Again, Netflix, always a witch, Siempre Bruja. And that is it, actually. I just wanted to come on and give my little review about that, since it coincides with our topic here about African religions and African spiritualities and even witchcraft. So that'll be it. Be sure and like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate that. And then that'll be it. Bye for now.